working that well today, so I've been having weeks to do.
Man, your show's gonna be awesome, bro. Your show's gonna be
You have your phone too?
awesome.
Oh, you're facing me, man.
Well, what? That's not the camera. This is the camera here. I want you to be able to see the angle. Yeah. No. Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Little Dog, and today we're actually here with Chris Detroit. So we're actually very excited. Chris Detroit has a lot of things coming up, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me today.
Hey, not a problem, man. I appreciate you for being here, and I appreciate the invite whenever I got invited out to y'all's kickoff.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Awesome. Yeah. We had a good time that night.
Oh, we sure did, man. Now, we were getting into some things about you being from Fort Worth and Texas. How was you born and raised in Fort Worth?
I was born at JPS, Young People's Hospital.
Okay.
Like a long time ago.
Way back in the day.
And yeah, so that's where I was born, and I was raised. My grandmother raised me, and right off of Riverside and Rosedale, and off of Ash Crescent Street, right there. I lived there. I went to St. Mary's Catholic School, and I was in the choir and stuff. And so maybe like first grade, and that's like 2 years. No, but so I guess I completed first grade, and then they actually shut the school down.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's a church and a school, and they shut down the school part of it. So, and I ended up moving in with my parents. I think we went to South Fort Elementary. No. I'm sorry, Days of Vala Elementary.
Oh, okay. Nice.
You know, long history of Fort Worth, man. If you don't know where Days of Vala is at, it's right basically in the hospital district downtown Fort Worth.
Oh, really?
And it's a few blocks from the hospitals, Baylor, and a few other hospitals right there. It's all gentrified now.
Yeah, kind of like West 7 was not so long back.
Yeah.
I remember how that was. Now, whenever you did, when did you start singing? Around?
So I was young. I have a brother that also done music well with us. He sings and stuff like that. He used to sing like Latin hip hop music. I would write music with him, songs, and that's kind of where it started for me. And he basically taught me a few things here and there, how to use my vocals and stuff like that.
Nice, man.
He actually taught me how to produce music as well. Like one thing I was doing, I used to make beats on a Chord Triton way back in the day. So they had these little floppy disks that had all these different sounds on it. And you could put the floppy disk in and play all the different sounds, and had like a metronome and all this, basically everything to do production.
Mm-hmm. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it was called the Chord Triton. It's one of my first boards I ever had.
So you make the music and the lyrics to all of your songs, right?
So I mean, I kind of got like I could say that I co-produced them,
Mm-hmm.
but some of the records I do, like some of them I'll get in there. And actually, for a long time, I co-produced all of my records, but I've been kind of like working with other producers and stuff like that, and just going with the flow if I like it. Hey, maybe we could work. And I like to do custom stuff as well. So
That's awesome. One quick thing. Can you turn off some, I'm sorry, I was gonna make some coffee.
yeah,
And I have a French press and everything. And so I started boiling some water and forgot to turn it off.
that's all I do, man.
But anyways, man, that's pretty cool. Now, how old were you when you started writing lyrics?
I'm probably about 12 years old. Probably a little younger than that, but like, so I really actually started to write songs. Like I wrote a song with my brother. I was probably 12 or 13 years old the first time, and he sang the song. It was one of his records. And he produced the, he played the music, he produced it. Like he's an amazing artist, but you know, he just chose to. He done a whole album, the entire album with SPM. It's called Reveille Park. He produced the album and he sang on the album as well. But it's my brother JC.
Man, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool history you got there. And so you kind of see the, because I know that your style isn't just 100% country. So I've heard you flow on some of your songs, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah, so like country music has always been in my life, and so back whenever I was a youngster, we would drive. My mom would pick us up from my grandmother's, and we would go visit my other grandmother. And that was that would be in San Saba, Texas, and we would go out there for like Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, and so we always listened to country music back then. It would be like George Strait, Garth Brooks, Brooks and Dunn, and I loved it. I loved it back then. I loved it even more. So many great classic country songs.
Yeah.
Willie Nelson. The list goes on.
Who would you say is some of your biggest influences in your music?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really. As far as like influenced me to like do music,
Yeah.
I mean, because those things came from me whenever I was younger. So nowadays, it's just like I like Morgan. I like what he's doing. I like a few of these other artists out here. I don't know if I could necessarily say they influence me, but I like what they're doing.
Sure. And one thing that I've been noticing about music here lately is that it's not just one style anyways. It's kind of been, mending styles to where it's like, you can't exactly say anywhere, oh, they just country, because it's like
Country
it's like a
rock, country. We doing like we have like Spanglish in our country now. It's like what's going on here? What you doing?
And I actually heard that in some of your new tracks as well too. A little bit of Spanish in there.
Yeah, those are actually kind of old. I have a lot of new music coming though, so yeah, I'm excited about the new music that I have coming. It's gonna be really surprising. I have a couple of people that I'm working with. But yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Nice. Now, what can we expect some of your new music to drop?
So I'm gonna say, what is it right now? Oh man, who's calling me? Man, somebody's calling me. So I'm gonna say like probably in August. Sometime in August, I'm gonna be releasing a new single, and I have some music right now. I might release like a couple of records that I haven't released yet. Like I have some on deck. But I believe in August I'm gonna release something that I'm gonna be putting video behind and going all out. So yeah.
Man, that's pretty awesome. Now you started the Cowboy Cumbia tour,
Yes.
and you have a show for me.
Yeah, we have a show coming up. Shout out to everybody that's participating in the Cowboy Cumbia tour. Shout out to Southbound Twins. Shout out to Tony King, Adrian Garza, Mandy Red. I mean, shout out to Louis Blanco. He's been helping us out a lot. Shout out to everybody that's Sean Mecca. I mean, the list goes on. Like, there's a lot of people that we're going to be in South Padre Island. And, so basically a lot of, like, the tour is going to be everywhere. So a lot of the names that I named right there, they're going to be going to South Padre Island. And some of them will be going to, like, Pecos, Texas. We got Pecos in September. Lubbock in September. We're going to be doing Sacramento, California in July, and we'll have Austin as well coming up in August, and maybe even before then. Yeah, so.
Man, that's awesome. You guys have been, y'all gonna stay busy.
We've been staying busy, thank the Lord. We have a lot of opportunities, and we have to capitalize.
For sure. And now, I want to, because part of the show is to help educate people on what to expect when they get into the industry. A lot of people think that whenever you go on tour, that other people take care of it for you. Whenever you tours, is this your first tour or have you done?
Oh, no, I've done tours before. I was on a pretty big tour a few years ago. But so right now, as far as this tour goes, there's a lot of sacrifice that needs to be made. It just depends, if you're going to be like, as far as me, the role that I'm playing right now, I'm setting up a lot of the tour, so that a lot of it's running through me. So I'm gonna be orchestrating a lot of it. And I can basically be operating kind of like a booking agency or a booking company, but, I'm still just an artist. So it's like a lot of this is new to me as well. So, um, but it gets difficult and definitely a lot of sacrifice, whether you're the artist or the person setting up the tour. You're gonna have to make sacrifices, and the industry is about sacrifices, man. And I know you hear that a lot, but I mean, the most thing of you're gonna sacrifice, you're gonna sacrifice your time, you're gonna lose relationships, you're gonna build relationships, but it's in the end, it's gonna be a lot of sacrifices, man. And that's what it's about in the industry.
I see a lot of correlation between music and acting as well, just the same. It takes a lot of sacrifice, especially in the beginning. It takes a lot of grind, a lot of, uh, what was it? A lot of people kind of turn against you that you believe were there for you. And I've seen that on my end as well as an actor. And so I know that it can be a bit tough, and that one of the things that is more important is to make sure that you take care of yourself. Um, you know, what are some of the ways that you find that help for you to relieve stress or be able to get any of your frustrations out?
Well, music is one outlet, and also going to the gym is an outlet. Riding horses, riding your bike. There's a bunch of cool outlets. You just even just sitting down on a bench somewhere and in the silence and just soaking that up. Um, those are some things that I like to do.
And that's great. I just like to, make sure that because there are people that they see, they stage, they see they see the glory side of it, but they don't see the hard work that you put in behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
And that's also a part of it. So that way, because I know for some people they see the hard work that goes into it, they pay a different type of respect. And it's like, okay, yeah, I can see the hard work. And I know that you've been working pretty much nonstop to keep this thing going. And I know that everything doesn't go perfect. And so, I know that you're doing such a great job being able to coordinate everything together.
Thankfully, I'm doing the best I can do, but I have a lot, like, you have to have a team as well. You have to have people that are going to be willing to make sacrifices and sacrifice their time and even their money as well, just to make these things happen. And shout out to all of them people as well. Shout out to, I'm giving all the shout outs. Hey, my boy Isaac in Loving, Texas, man. He's helping making things happen and those Sacramento. And then we got everybody on the side, you entertainment, and then sponsors help out so much. So important for us to have sponsors.
For sure. Even mine, I'm sponsored by Water Pure Texas and
Awesome.
and so they help me out a lot, and I help with pushing their products as well, and I do water testing myself for them.
Oh, wow.
And so it's pretty cool that they sponsor me.
Shout out to the sponsors, y'all. We love y'all. Thank you.
And so, you know, uh, no, people don't realize that, hey, you can't do it all on your own. And so I love how you said that you gotta have a team, somebody who's willing to sacrifice behind you. So, and that is so very true because I found that doing it by myself for a little while, there was actually a difference in my quality as well as some hiccups that started to rise. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm having to deal with this right now,
Like,
And so,
I totally agree. So there's always trial and error in everything. especially when you're kicking off something brand new. You're gonna have trial and error, but you go through it, you push through it, and you learn from your mistakes, and you learn from the things that you missed, and you sharpen it up before you know it. You know, and the most important thing, you keep God first. You got to keep God first because God has to be there to guide you and help you do the right thing.
Sure. And also, for those of you guys who are watching, just everything is still interactive as usual. So if you have any questions, concerns, or anything like that, or as long as it's appropriate, we'll put it up on here and we'll be able to ask them as well too. And so from steady, my followers tend to fluctuate between 7 and 7:30, and so that's why I try to.
Did you type me on here? Let's see where I could be accepted.
Do what? Okay. Do you want to see if you guys mic well? I just think the finish is a little blurry.
Is it?
All right. Takes
I wonder if it's the signal because that seems to be the signal.
Yeah, I have it on the 5G, and so I've noticed that there's been a little bit more solar activity here lately. And it's been kind of messing with my signal a lot, so I've been dropping calls where I know calls. But anyways, whenever how long? Because you've been doing this for a while, but is there a difference in the type of songs that you write from, of course, whenever you're 12 to whenever you're when you're coming out with in the next?
Yeah, for sure. So it's funny because you really notice the longer you start to write music and you understand music and words, the more you hear all the new artists and you hear these guys like, oh, that sounds like me when I first started rapping. That's something that I hear myself saying a lot. But then you can hear something else, like if somebody really knows how to tell a story, and that's whenever if somebody can really tell a story, then they know how to write music. Now, if you could go up there and make a lot of words rhyme and tell a story, hey, that's even more awesome. You know what I'm saying? There's just so much behind it. But
So I know that this may be a very difficult question right here. However, what would you say has been your favorite moment as, say, whether it's on tour or practicing?
as my favorite moment right now is, of course, it was whenever I was on tour and making a lot of big records with Louis the Singer. Like, I really don't give it down. Come and take it, dance with me, Southern Ways. So, like, all those records right there made a huge impact in my career. And Louis as well. And yeah, so that moment in time right there was probably about a whole year until the dark side of the industry came out and money gets involved, and it's like, then it comes down to like, where's the money and what's up with the money, because at the end, whenever you sacrifice a whole year of your life and you contribute financially, you contribute as an artist, artistically, you contribute in every which way that you can to help build somebody else's career and also yours too, and you don't reap the benefits in the end, then that's when everything's like, okay, but things like that happen all the time. So as I say, the industry is it's a lot of sacrifices, but you gotta learn from it, you gotta keep pushing.
Yeah, that is some that's actually really, really great advice. So now, huh?
What'd you have to
I had to learn the hard way. I had to go and get drugged through the mud. I have to use lawyers, and I don't like to talk about the stuff because, I have genuine love for everybody, and I have genuine love for the music and when the Lord blessed us with these records and we were doing these records and we were built this tour up and things were looking like really good for us, and so what I learned from it is that what we're just talking about. It looks like one thing from out here, but what's really going on right here? Everybody doesn't know what's going on right here. They just see from what's happening out here. So yeah,
that is something that I've kind of learned a little bit before on is that, for me, it comes down to almost like a paperwork kind of thing, and despite, hey, this is my friend at the moment, that later on I know that eventually it could come down to, hey, you know, I did this, I did that, kind
A
of.
lot of like, we already knew what was happening. I already knew what was happening. A lot of people already knew because people have track record, and it's still happening. The track record is still doing the same stuff. So okay, what's the problem? The person that's making but either way it goes, like we knew what was happening, and as soon as as soon as they get confronted, then it's a different story. It's like, then you got to get lawyers involved. And that's it. And then it's a battle like that, and it sucks, man. It really sucks because whether friendship or not, like I like to open up the doors. Like, man, there's a huge story behind as far as the beginning of Chris Detroit, but the best thing just that I could say is, is in the end, I'm still blessed. No matter
Would you like to give us your story? We're actually here for you, so.
what. Nah, I mean, the story is right now, Cowboy Cumbia tour, and y'all know one thing, South Padre Island, Cameron County Amphitheater, and then Sacramento, California at CH Cafe.
Now, how can they get their tickets?
So as far as you can go to cowboycumbiatour.com and get tickets. And as far as South Padre Island, they just made that a free event. So it's a free event now in South Padre. So if y'all are in the Valley and y'all want to come see us, hey, it's a free event, 4th of July, South Padre Island, Cameron County Theater.
And what time are you guys starting?
It's going to be kicking off at 2 p.m. and it'll probably be going until midnight.
Nice. So all the fireworks going off. Yeah, that's gonna be nice.
It's going to be a fun event. So Crystal Poppin will be out there. Sean Mecca, DJ Kane from the Cumbia Kings, my brother DJ Kane, and Frankie Boy as well, the drummer. So they're going to be out there. It's going to be some fun times.
And actually, I met DJ King a long time ago, actually. About a year ago, I was down in San Antonio and I was with Lines Act Productions and some gala and stuff.
Okay.
And I met him in person down there. He's pretty good, pretty awesome guy.
Yeah, he's cool. He's like laid back. He's chill. He's an amazing artist. He's an amazing songwriter and all of that. So shout out to my brother Kane. Shout out to Frankie Boy. There's gonna be a lot of great artists. So Sean Mecca, I keep saying his name. Sean. Tony King. Shout out to Tony King. Adrian Garza. I got in the list goes on.
Adrian Garza, man.
We got a new kid coming from Austin as well. Grant. Goes by GR4NC, I believe. Grant. He's a smoker too.
Okay.
Smoke before I came. Smoke when I leave. Weird.
Do you think that helps with your creativity?
It helps me with not being crazy.
That makes sense.
As far as the creativity, whenever I was young, I would think, like, oh, I'm smoking, I'm going to come up with this record. But you know what helps the most with creativity? Real life situations.
Experience.
That's what helps the most.
Nice. And we see a lot of your experience in a lot of your writing too. So that's awesome. It's great to see, of course, everything that you're saying lines up with your music. A lot of times, sometimes when you get somebody who just, there have been a couple of people I talk to, like, have somebody else write for them, and I'll ask them, and they'll be like, oh yeah, it's just part of my creative gift.
So whenever I did records, we were back at that writing. So yeah, but whenever I did records with Louis, some of those records we both wrote them together.
Nice.
So like he wrote some, and some of them, I wrote more than him, and I don't know, maybe one he might have wrote a little bit more. I don't know. But I mean, we have more records that y'all haven't even heard yet, so I haven't even put them out, and I don't know if I ever will. But there's some really good songs. If y'all haven't heard POS, y'all need to listen to POS. I have to say that because a lot of people haven't heard that record, and I'll promote it. But I have something in the works right now. I might be doing a record label with my brother Tony King, man. I think I think we're gonna be doing a record. Might be doing this soon. And if that happens, man, it's gonna be crazy, y'all. Like if that happens, it's gonna be like we're about to make history right here in Texas, like for real.
Nice. Now, is your family traditionally from Texas, the Texas area, or
So on my mom's side, they're all from San Salvador. We have land out there. We actually have our own cemetery that's my family and our crest on our land. So my grandmother, my grandfather, they're buried there. My uncle's buried there. My aunts, all my family, they're buried there. Whenever I die, I'm gonna be buried there. In San Salvador, Texas. Hey, shout out to San Salvador. But so, what were we saying?
that's it? Virginia from Texas.
So yeah, San Salvador, Texas. My mom, and then so like as far as she was actually born in Houston, Texas, I believe, but they ended up in San Salvador. So because my grandmother, she was born there, and she actually lived on the land, and she was raised on the land that we have out there. Yeah, and we used to have a cabin, so whenever we would go out there, we had the cabin, and then it got burnt down. But so and then on my dad's side, my grandmother, they're from Monterrey, Mexico, and and on my grandfather's side, I'm not sure where they're from. That's the Hernandez side. And I heard a lot of stories about my grandfather. I know that he was in the World War. Both of my grandfathers were in the World War, and one of them was the one, the Hernandez side. He was so my other grandfather. His name is Detroit Roman. So that's how I got Detroit. That's his name. And then my dad's dad, his name is Robert Hernandez. So, but I didn't really know any. I know I have family in Los Angeles, and I know that on that side, like, and I think Dallas as well.
Yeah, man, that's actually pretty awesome that you're tied to. So you could actually probably trace your lineage back to some of the indigenous tribes that are around here.
Oh, for sure,
For sure. And this has actually been brought up before because I have you see Jose right there. He's the former president of NACE, which is Native Americans and Understanding Coalition, and has actually been making suggestions to musicians like yourself to submit for the Native American awards.
Okay.
And so that way, because they have their own categories as well, and it's like the Grammys for Native Americans in music and entertainment. And so we're actually working to bring back the Native Americans and coalition. And so, we'd be covering all indigenous people in entertainment. So,
Well, I have native on both of my sides, on my mom's side and on my dad's side.
yeah.
So I'm not real familiar with on my dad's side, but I know that I do because my grandmother told me, and I'm familiar with my mom's side because I've actually seen a picture of one of my great aunts with my grandmother, and her dad was a Choctaw Indian chief. That's what they say. I don't know, but you could definitely tell that she was
Yeah.
an Indian woman.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. So yeah, submitted to indigenous radio stations, stuff like that. Some ways that you can networking.
Whatever it is, man, I'm with it. Because I know that I'm mixed up with a lot of stuff, man, and I feel like everybody is. But my roots are, from indigenous and also Mexican and also whatever Texas is because I have family that was basically from here, like my ancestors and stuff.
Brother, it's all indigenous.
Yeah, for sure.
Because even because I don't do the whole thing of the whole border thing. I think that what it was is they just relabeled everybody in order to give somebody a different identity. And so you guys down there, everybody down there is indigenous as well, as far as I'm concerned.
Whenever they came from during that one era, and they started bringing all the goods and trades and everything and all that, and they brought all the diseases and everything. Like, well, during that time, so somehow or another, my great grandmother, she met my great grandfather, and he was Italian from Italy. and moved to Mexico. So and that's how that. So I actually got some Italian in my blood as well. So that's kind of like it goes like it's just stuff. You know what I'm saying? But there was a time that it was all. But I don't know though. It's hard to say because how long has the world been around, and how can we say that it's been around that long anyways? For sure.
And everything, I mean, everything merges. I mean, it's not like how it was at that time where, oh, you just stick with your own type or your own people. Now it's like everybody mixes. And so even in my tribe, we got French Canadian in my tribe.
Oh wow.
And even for me, well, the most Italian I am is my first name, Mafiama. But I also found out that I also have, I have Jesse James in my lineage as well.
Wow.
It was through his wife, who was the daughter of John.
Oh wow.
And so I have a lineage that goes back that way as well, and just kind of splits off. And my family in Canada, the Provost family, and we have a family crest as well too.
Oh wow.
And so that's through the French Canadian side that merged into the family. And so, like you said, we're all mixed.
Real.
And so it's just crazy that with the indigenous, they pedigree us like with animals. But in Mexico, they don't do that. They just don't recognize it altogether.
That's so crazy to me because there's so many Mexican Indians. And it's like, dude, you're not just Mexican, you're Indian. You could look at my grandmother and she don't even look Mexican. She looks like a damn Indian for sure, all the way. Like, she gives me those looks. I like it. We got the nose, we got the snout. What's up? All I need is the paint. The paint. Like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah, later too, man.
Dude, it's like, what's crazy about the hair? It's like, I don't want to cut it. It's like, it's just part of me. And I feel like it almost takes me back to like my roots. I feel like, because I've always had it. And then whenever I cut it, I'm just like, I get tired of it. I'm like, I don't let my hair go. I don't want to be cutting it like this, like fade and all that.
Yeah. I used to have one fade as well when I was younger.
Then I started, during the summer, it does get hot. So I did start cutting it around the sides.
Yeah.
Not too much.
Yeah, not too much.
And then, but I also noticed that, for the culture wise, the long hair connects us to our ancestors. That's definitely from
That's what I feel like too.
And whenever you cut it, it was during a time that you were mourning, or sadness. And so you'd mourn it and, you disconnect that, you'd sever that connection. And then let it restart and let the mourning come on.
Wow.
And so that's pretty cool to see, growing your hair, kind of reconnecting. That's awesome. Now, I like seeing that more and more nowadays in the culture because I've been seeing stuff where, like, say, like, they say that it looks sloppy. They say that it's something. The thing is that it's like, hey, this is my culture.
It's like they want to rip culture out of everything and then make it what they want it to be.
Now, how long you been growing your hair?
I don't know, maybe like 5 years.
Nice.
It's pretty long. I don't know. Got it wrapped up in this thing.
Yeah. I got mine. I got mine too. 5 years as well.
I try to use men's shampoo. You know what I like? Really, Head and Shoulders. I like the Head and Shoulders, the old school stuff.
Yeah.
And then, seriously, I put like this. Whenever I get braids and stuff, whenever I take them out, I like to put, it's like a garlic oil, and it helps, it helps everything like strong, get strong again, and regrow. I forgot what it has in it though. I don't know why it's a garlic, but I feel like that's what it said on there. But yeah, so it's
Yeah.
I try to take care of my hair. That's
good. I try to do the same myself, but my hair was breaking for a while.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because due to a lot of stress that I was going through. But we all go through it, And so that's how I know that I'm hitting my levels. It's like my hair started getting brittle and breaking. And I was like, man, what is stressing me out? And I have to take myself down and calm down and kind of meditate for a little bit, figure it out, and then move past it, So, but anyways, man,
Don't let it get you down, really. Nothing.
yeah.
Even if it does, and just shake it off real quick. So.
And that's what I'm working on, because I've been I always say that's the only thing I know how to do is to keep going forward. You know?
That's it.
Sometimes I feel like Dory from Finding Nemo, just keep swimming.
We got to keep pushing, y'all. Keep looking forward. Don't even dwell on the past. I don't like to, because I get caught up in it. Like,
And you can't change it.
yeah, it's like, okay, it is what it is. Now we need to focus on what's next. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? That's it.
What's next for you?
Yeah,
And we already know what's next week. It's going to see Padre Island.
yeah, Padre Island, and then so it's the music as well. So I've been working with some new artists. I'm gonna share some of that. Some tips and I'll share some. I'm happy about that. So just be on the lookout. I'll be sure to. I'll send you some stuff. And you'll definitely be invited to the video. So it's a big issue. Don't want to come down. Be invited.
Yeah.
So like, there's gonna be some. Yeah, that was Southbound Twins video shoot, but we'll have one for.
He's just going to have it for himself, too.
For a couple of records. So.
Yeah, I'm not just everybody. I know the screen. She's doing a lot of pop talking, too.
So we might be doing a video shoot for Welcome to Cowtown, a record that I have with my brother Adrian Garza, like within the next week or two. So I'll keep you updated.
Sounds good. Now, are you going to need a casting call or is this going to be closed? Or
Like, this is his record, and I'm a feature on it. I'm allowed him to take take care of all that stuff. You do all the casting and everything, but I think he does. But either way, like, I'm gonna invite some people to.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Just let me know if y'all have any open casting calls or you need a certain type of look. Because I actually know a lot of actors, and actually that's what most of my following is fellow actors and
awesome.
And all that, as well as I have a couple of casting agents that are on there. I have a couple of casting directors that watch and writers. They all watch the show.
Awesome. And shout out to all you guys, man. What's up?
Everybody in the industry. And that's what this was for, is to get people from the industry, because they see the good side. They see the glory side. I like to explain, like, I saw this on Facebook. It's called the entertainment iceberg, where everybody sees the glory. They see you on stage. They see the stuff that comes with it, but they don't see all the hard work. They
think that you're rich and amazing stuff.
Exactly.
I know there's like, just we just like you guys. Sometimes we make it a little bit more. We try to make it last as long as we can. It's yes.
You said your brother made an album with SPM. That's crazy. How did that happen?
So this is how it happened. This is how that happened. Back in the day, my other brother lived in Houston. Okay, he lived in an apartment downtown Houston. Okay, Screw Stone. So basically, his next door neighbor was Carlos Coy.
No way.
Yeah. And not only that, a kid from Vallejo, California, named Ronnie, back then, Baby Beach, moved in with my brother. And so he actually lived with my brother in Houston. So whenever I went to Houston, it was Beach and it was SPM and everybody was there. So I got to be in the mix with everybody a lot. So that's how I know Lucky. I don't know if you heard Two Flame albums, but I have like a lot of records with Lucky. One guy, everybody from the house.
Yeah.
I got love for everybody.
Would you ever make a record with him?
I have like 2 records with one guy.
No, I'm talking about Carlos.
Carlos?
Yeah.
So Carlos, yeah, we've discussed that already with my brother, and I don't know. We'll see.
That'd be pretty cool.
SPM was definitely an influence in my younger years. As far as music goes, he's an amazing artist. As far as his personal life, I don't got anything to say on any of that.
Yeah.
But he's an amazing artist, and I did look up to him. As a matter of fact, look, this is another story. He's got a brother named Arthur Coy, and they actually tried to sign me to Dope House Records.
You said.
Yeah, back in 2008, 2009. I was young, and I had released an album, and JC, my brother Johnny, took it to Houston, and he gave it to Arthur Coy. So back then I had started my own record label with a brother of mine, and they were calling me from the office and like, they keep calling from Houston. They're looking for you. They want to call. I'm like, yeah, I think they keep calling me. I seen a different number in there. So finally I answered and he's like, hey, what's up, man? It's hard to call it. They called me Duty. Yeah, so JC gave me your album and I listened to it and man, I really like it, man. What he wanted to do was, so I had, back then there wasn't like all these different streaming platforms.
Right.
You know, there was,
CDs.
yeah, it was CDs. So he's like, I want to help you re-release your album, and I was like all excited because one of my friends had moved back to Texas from Florida, and he wanted to put up all this money to for our label. So I was like, dude, like my buddy's fixing to break me off, bro, like some bread, like I think it was like $20,000. It was like he's fixing to give me 20 G, bro. So what are you gonna give me?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you know, we're gonna definitely do this and that, this and that. And I was like, I don't know, I have to think about it. You know? So boom, that was that conversation. Never signed the dope house. But I did get the offer and the opportunity. Shout out to Arthur Corey. Thanks for the opportunity, man. Maybe I should have took it, you know. Maybe I should have. I ended up back in prison like 5 years later, so never know.
Well, if anything, I mean, we know that the path that you took led you in this direction. That's pretty cool, you know, actually get to meet you, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thanks for everything, like I said.
Hey, not a problem, man. I appreciate it. You know, I've been looking to move up with my show. I just didn't know which direction that I wanted to go. Whenever I saw that the Cowboy Cumbia tour was kicking off, you know, I had actually reached out to DJ King, but he's a busy guy. And then so I was like, yo, you know what? Let me go ahead and comment on the post. And then you're like, yeah, come on. And I was like, hey, this is cool. This is a whole new direction that I'd like to go with this. And it gave me more of the ideas to keep doing more of that type of quick interview. And so, you know, it was definitely a major part of some of the evolution of this. So, you know, I really appreciate it too. And, you know, that's what we do is we make ties, right?
I'm happy to be a part of it.
So
There's a lot more to come too. I'm gonna send you some artists. I might even get Kane over here.
I've had him remotely on my whole channel. And actually my end credit song is whenever he gets twist them out like on the keyboard. Whenever he was on before. But I would love to get him in person. One of the things that I'm trying to do actually is here in Texas has never had their own late night style show. And so I'm trying to move that up into that kind of format of a late night show where we do the interviews, and then we have, you know, the artists come through and do one of their songs for at the end to close out the show. And so, you know,
It's fun.
I have
Like an acoustic or something.
yeah, like an acoustic performance, like unplugged.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that way, you know, kind of, because I love introducing Texas talent, especially to all around. And every once in a while, I'll bring on, you know, artists outside of Texas in order to spread, you know, the show itself. And so that's how I've been able to keep the show out in the UK, Australia.
I'm gonna get Tony King over here for you, man.
Okay.
Hey, you been to UK and Australia too?
No, sure.
What was it?
Not yet.
The show. The show.
I have roles coming up in those areas. Okay, so
That's awesome, man.
but
One of the producers that produced a couple of records for me, he's actually from Australia. He lives in Nashville now. By Jake Angel. Shout out to Jake Angel. It's cool, dude.
nice, man. Well, let me see. Oh, we actually have somebody saying a great show tonight. So, and even this right here, this is a new full time for me too. Usually we start off with thanking the sponsors in the beginning and all this other stuff on solo parts, and then, you know, switching into a two-person. But, you know, we started off with both of us, and I think that it was really good interview, you know, to keep it up that way. And so,
Shout out Chris Detroit.
Thank y'all so much. Thank you for shouting me out. I'm gonna kick that shout out back to the sponsors. The sponsors, you know, we need y'all. We need some more sponsorships. You ever?
sure, we do need more sponsorships. Hey, never good enough, right?
It's, you know, without them and without the people, shout out to all the viewers right now. We love y'all. Thank y'all for viewing.
So thank you guys. Don't forget to go to his Cowboy.
So you could go to cowboyclubtour.com. You can go to chrisdetroit.com and all the information will be there. On chrisdetroit.com have like shirts and stuff. I actually need to update it with some new merch that I have coming out, but I'm gonna be getting into all that soon enough. And shout out to Tony King, shout out to my brother Ghetto, shout out to everybody that's watching right now and everybody that's helped us with this show and that participated in Cowboy Cumbia Tour. All that good stuff.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Now, also,
Hold up.
shout out. I have one more shout out.
We got a shout out in the house right here to your friend
Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Yeah.
We have yet to give Vanessa a shout out. She's
Actually, that's where I was going next.
She's doing behind the scenes work. You know, she's
Live
doing work.
studio audience.
Hey, live studio audience slash work helper.
No, I'm behind the scenes.
Okay,
I'm not a camper.
next time. But that was actually the next part of the special announcement that I did want to make too. Was that part of a new member of our team, WLD Productions family, is Vanessa.
Yeah.
And so she's gonna help with taking a lot of the other work off of me as well. And so one of the things that we're gonna be going through is actually going through trying to get the camera working so that we're connected to the laptop, and then she's gonna take over a lot of the producer.
It is. It is. People don't understand the behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the sound, the video, the
Lighting.
the lighting,
Yeah. The guests.
And so that's why I was like,
the drink. Gotta have drink.
Yeah.
This is watermelon, y'all. It's watermelon and lemon. That's it. That's what I'm drinking. Watermelon and lemon. It's a good little mix.
It's got a lot of electrolytes and minerals. She's that sure.
No vodka, no alcohol. Although it
You
does
want
sound.
some?
Although, okay. Cheers.
But so thank you, Vanessa, for your help. And I did notice a difference on my last episode whenever I didn't have help, and I was like, oh dang. Okay, let me keep doing this. Let me keep doing this. And I was like, you know what? It does make a difference. And so having a team, like you said, does help out. And I'm starting to build my team. And
I'll be back on the show again.
oh, you're
I'll
definitely
come back. I'll come back on the show. I want to bring some other artists.
okay.
We're gonna connect all the
We're gonna have a
dots.
little party.
We'll connect all the dots to where open up over here, have more people over here. Everybody will get to meet each other. And,
Yeah, that sounds great, man. I love networking.
yes, that's it. That's
One
it.
thing that Southbound said. For-
Southbound Twins.
Yeah. They
Shout
were
out to the
here.
Southbound Twins.
They were here.
I seen their picture over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they left me a poster. And
Like I said, there's so many people. I'm just like, man, shout out to the South. Man, they got an awesome video coming, an awesome record. It's going to be huge, y'all. So, man, shout out to them. They got, for real. They're bringing it right now.
I got a lot of behind the scenes footage of that day, so I'm gonna send it to them so that way, because they said that they have scheduled drops whenever they want to do things, and so I'm gonna edit it and then I'm gonna send it to them so that way it's ready to post.
Them boys, man, they're working.
Yeah, and afterwards we went out to
Yeah.
yeah. They
No
got-
invite.
I know you missed out. Missed out. It was
Next
a good
time.
too.
I was in Mexico.
She wasn't Mexico. she did eat really well too, so.
Oh, yeah, you got the good stuff. You got the real tortillas.
Yeah.
You need them. Why didn't you bring it back? God.
You didn't ask for it.
I wanted some ice.
I did bring back liquor.
The tequila.
I did back
Forgot the tortillas, but the tequila.
I got that. Yeah, that's what's important.
I got the importance.
It's fun time.
Right?
Well, man, I really appreciate you coming on. I look forward to where you're going with your career in the sport, and I'm excited to keep seeing your rise. And the way that you're doing things now, whatever could have been, it doesn't matter because you got some great things ahead.
That is, there it is.
All right.
Hey, shout out to you too, and I'm excited about all your show and all your everything that you have coming as well, man. I appreciate it. And I know that you're gonna be building. Y'all have a lot of great things coming. I'm excited to be a part of that as well.
Same
I
to you.
appreciate it, man. And like I said, everybody that's come through, especially in the beginning of the show's house, because as far as for me having sponsors, I'm not considered an established podcaster. An established podcast has about 500 episodes, and I'm getting close to 100. Yet I've already managed to build up some sponsors on my show, which means that I'm putting out some good stuff. They see it going places, and I'm very happy to meet the people that I meet. Such as you. I've been having several different types of people where I'm just like, hey, I can't believe I know these kind of people. Back in the day, like even just 3 years ago, I was maybe 75 friends on Facebook. And I was not in entertainment. I didn't care about internet presence or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But then I got into acting, and then I started to care about my appearance, started losing weight, started feeling better, meeting new people, networking. They say that your net worth is your net worth, and my network has been growing over the years. And so, very proud to be where I'm at. I know that you're adding to that network, so I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. All right, sir. Appreciate you.
So,
Resources and those are really important. Just like you said, network is your network.
all right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Let's see. Actually, do you have any other things that you want to get up?
Let's see. Just shout out to you guys. Make sure y'all enjoy y'all's night, and y'all be sure to stream. Y'all go to YouTube, check out a Chris Detroit music video, or go to Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you like to stream your music on. I would recommend to go check out a video on YouTube. Anyone, Chris Detroit, featuring Louis the Singer, Chris Detroit, whatever, it don't matter. Any one of them. There's a bunch of them. So.
Sure. That's like anything. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Get the Kamatsin. Y'all have a great evening. All right.
Yeah.
Fuiste mal con mi corazón y ya ahora vienes a buscar.